And breathing helps our vitality, not only our physical vitality, our mental, emotional, and spiritual vitality. And so I have a question for you. So how does that work for you, Susan?
For me, when I get into a state of sort of that confusion, maybe fatigue, brain
Brain
just
fog?
not flowing well, brain fog, yeah, and it's like I can't figure out. I'm a really solid decision maker, but
Mm-hmm.
there's times I get into these states where my mind is just kind of taken over and it's doing its own thing and it's chatting away and it's not supporting me. And
Yep.
so I use the breath. It's like, okay, stop, take some really full deep breaths. And one of the techniques that we're going to be talking about is just some of those ways to get yourself back centered, back balanced. It's truly is a stress reduction technique, a mental clarity technique that truly, just like you said, it's so accessible and so easy. You don't need anything else. You just need
Right.
to stop and focus for a second and breathe. And it really is influencing your whole system, your autonomic nervous system, which is kind of your shifting from a state of fight or flight freeze kind of thing into a state of calm. It lets your active and your calm states be in the right place. We don't necessarily realize the physicality that can change when your breath comes in. I mean, you talked about it, in beautiful detail, and sometimes we still don't get that has such a profound impact. And so we know that, I mean, so many of these holistic techniques, actually, probably all of them, have a place of breathing first to be able to move forward and have your body in a state of receptivity, in a state of being able to heal. Has to, you just got to get that kind of calmness for a minute, and the breath can do that. So
Absolutely.
I'm
I
going to talk
love,
about
go
presence
ahead.
in a second, but I want you to share with us your breath work journey too. But go ahead.
Well, I love what you said about being present and the mental clarity and getting rid of the brain fog, the crap going on in our brain. And I just want to give you an example of this. The other night, I woke up at, I don't know, 3:30 in the morning, and all of the worries of the week, whatever it was. I mean, most of them don't ever happen. What, 90% of our worry, what we worry about, never materializes. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I was thinking about any of this stuff, but I was just, oh, on and on and on. It was like a half hour. I'm like, okay, wait.
What
I'm
the heck?
done. I'm done with that mental minutia. And so I did one of the breathing techniques we are going to show you in a little bit. And it was like, oh, and I just did it for like 5 minutes. And as soon as I completed, I was like, I'm ready for bed now. I'm ready to go back to sleep. And I slept through the night. And I woke up with my alarm, which I rarely ever do because I usually wake up before my alarm. So that's one of the reasons why it's so important, because insomnia, we're at epidemic
Yeah.
proportions of insomnia throughout the world, and breath work can help you with that. It can help alleviate or lessen the stress of the day so that we can get better sleep. I mean, that's what's one of the big benefits for me. And I've been consciously, right before I go to bed now, doing breath work, even if it's just taking 3 or 4 good deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth to help me relax before I go to sleep.
That's
So
awesome.
the other thing that it can help you with is your emotional and emotional healing, emotional release and healing. Because when we take a good deep breath in, it helps unlock all of that stored energy, as Susan so eloquently called it, blobs. I just
Yeah.
love that. I'm going to use that too. And it helps it helps give that space, that place where it's locked in your body, power and energy. As we are energy workers, it helps give that power and energy to move through it, to be able to move. Because if it's locked in that place, it needs something wherever it is in your body, something to help get it moving. And breath work is a perfect way, a simple way, an easy, accessible way to get that moving and to get that emotion out of the body. And your example earlier was a perfect example of that, because who knows what she picked up from other people. And as an empath, and you're an empath too, we could walk through a crowd of people and pick up their energy and go, oh my gosh, why am I upset? Like today, I was upset, not upset, but I was irritated. And I'm like, well, I've really no reason to be. I had a great week. And using the breath work to help move it through. And, we're in such a fast paced world that not breathing is one of the reasons why we're so stressed, is because we're not used to, and we're not really taught when we're kids to breathe, to help move that energy through. So what do you say to that?
You know, there's a part of kind of everyone's life. Again, no, maybe not as much when we're kids, but who knows? But when we are responding to life around us
Mhm.
and responding to not just our own personal thing that's going on, we're connected to everybody else, our families, our things that are going on. We do, if something has irritated or it makes us take
Oh
a
yeah.
gasp. Sometimes our bodies stay in that state where you're kind of
Mhm.
taking a breath that's just like barely reaches below your neck, and that then impacts your whole body's physicality. And so we don't even realize sometimes that that's happening until we say, "Oh, I have not even taken a full breath today." And so while we shouldn't have to think about that, and we shouldn't have to think about how am I breathing today, we really
Yes.
do have to. And sometimes
Mhm.
we need to,
Yep.
just shoot, just like sitting on these Zoom calls, and that so many of us are doing every day, where we tend to maybe not even get up and move. We have to sort of get up and breathe,
Mhm.
and really take a really conscious full breath, really
Yep.
active on a very regular basis, to be
Yep.
able to say, oh, get myself back. And I'll say, for me, get myself back to the present, being
Yes.
aware of not being hanging out with a lot of thoughts and worries and concerns about the past, not be in a space of, oh, how could this affect this happening a year from now? It's like we get into those swirls both directions.
Yeah.
And so you even mentioned it, that ability to be present is
Yeah.
truly, that's where we need to be to affect the presentness of our body, of our thoughts, of our minds, our
Mhm.
souls, our spirits, is
Yep.
using that breath to immediately get you back into that present moment state. Then you can connect with everything. You can connect with yourself.
Absolutely.
You can connect with people around you. You can connect with the divine. But you have to be in that state of presence and awareness to be able to do that.
Hmm. I started with breath work. In one of our first episodes, I said I started with Reiki, but I completely forgot about the year of breath work that I
Yeah.
had done once a week for a year. Um, I don't think I'd be married today had I not done that year of breath work. Because,
Mm.
I mean, I was like 26, 27, 28, somewhere around in there. I don't remember when it was, somewhere around in there. And, I had a lot of baggage. I just was an emotional wreck because I didn't know then I was an empath. So I didn't know then that I was picking up everyone else's emotions. And I didn't know then that I was letting other people's fears and other people's limiting beliefs affect me and doing that breath work. It's called conscious connected breathing. And we did it for an hour. The
Wow.
exercises we're going to take you through are only a couple of minutes. You can do
Right.
them as long as you want. But this was just a very simple breathe in, hold, and then breathe out. And before you completely breathe out, breathe in again. So your breath is just connected from the inhale to the exhale. And oh my gosh, so many emotions came up, so many awarenesses came up. And you are so correct. It allowed me to be in the present moment, and it allowed me to see where other people were affecting me. And it allowed me to release the emotions that I needed to release, and the hurt and the heartache that I needed to release, to be able to be fully present with my spouse, or at that
Mhm.
time, future spouse. Otherwise, I probably would not even be married, because I
Wow.
would have let all that lack and limitation and all that hurt that I had built up in my life affect me.
Right.
And not, had I not released it, I don't think I would have been mature enough to say,
Mhm.
okay, this isn't mine. I can release it, and I can be fully present and aware of the love my husband, or my future husband at that time, has for me. I mean, my goodness, he worships the ground I walk on. And
Oh.
and everyone should feel that way. And the breath work, the conscious connected breathing, helped me do that. And since then,
Yeah.
I have progressed to other different types of breath work to be able to help me with various different things. How cool is that?
Yeah. Yeah. That's just beautiful that you did that, you just really focused on spending that time and
Mhm.
taking care of what was necessary for you to be the person that you wanted to be in
Mhm.
the person that you needed to be for these future relationships. And like you said, a lot of that can be stuff that we take on from other people, or just,
Our
past
own baggage.
experiences
Yep.
it's just that old baggage. It's like you don't even realize sometimes that you've taken that in, and it just is affecting you that way. But it's just not but and it's just beautiful that you again took that time to say, okay, it's time to get me in a place that I want to be physically, mentally, emotionally, and that you could use a breath work process as your really that catapulted you into that life that you really wanted to be in.
Mhm. Well, I didn't even know that was the benefit. I mean, to me, that wasn't even the main benefit. I wasn't looking to be able to be aware and present with my husband and to receive his love. That even wasn't the reason
Not
why I
even in
was
your
going
awareness.
there. That was another benefit. I don't want to say side benefit, but that was another big benefit, that after that year, I was like, oh, wow, that was the true reason why I did it, but it wasn't the
Yeah.
impetus as to why I
Right.
did it. And that's what I love about breath work. And that's what I love about the healing work that we do, is that there are so many benefits we don't even know, that after doing work with you, and people, my clients doing work with me, is that they'll come back to us and say, well, I went to you for this, but this other thing improved. And
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
recently had, yeah, I recently had a client who said the exact same thing. I went to you because I was feeling bad about myself, and all of a sudden my relationship with my husband improved. And I'm like, well,
Mm-hmm.
yep,
Yes.
that's what happens when you do this inner work, and when you do breath work and any other energy work, is that it can morph into so many different experiences and benefits for you. So do you want to go into the exercises, or did you have anything that you wanted to say?
Right. Well, just as you were talking about just briefly about your client got back to you for different things, I just know this one gal. It was a very emotional things that we were working on with her, and the next day she said, "Oh man, I just feel so much lighter and better about myself."
Mhm.
oh yeah, my arm doesn't hurt anymore. And that those they make me laugh with joy about
Yes.
you just don't know how these things are all connected, that when
Mhm.
you know when you do one thing that helps one area of your life, that so many other pieces can be
Absolutely.
wonderfully and beautifully affected. And so it's just taking the time to say, let me just work on this thing a different way and look at what's going on in a different way, and accessing it via the energy concept and the breath concept is a whole different way that can truly change
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
many things in your life for the better. And that's, I mean, that's what I've learned. I know that's what you've learned.
Mhm.
And that's the goal really of why
Yes.
Jennifer and I are doing this, this wellness way, is to just know that you have a whole lot more support and control of how life shows up for you and what
Mhm.
life brings to you
Yeah,
than you may never have realized before.
absolutely. I bet that filled your heart with joy.
Oh my gosh, I'm still
Just filled
smiling
you up.
about it. I mean, some of these are from 20 years ago, and it's
Mhm.
like, and you still just, it just is such a fabulous feeling to know that someone that's been struggling with so many things for so
Yeah.
long, I always get that I was at my wit's end, and now it's just not even a thing anymore. And to be able to help somebody in and influence their moving forward, there really is nothing better than that kind of way of helping people.
It's
Just
like,
there is,
how does it get any better? And then you're like, oh,
yeah,
helping more people. That's
yes,
how it gets better.
that's how it gets better. Okay, let's
Oh, I
hop
know.
into
We
let's
could
hop into
espouse
helping.
that all day long. So